Yo, what is up? What is up? What is up? Hope everybody is having a fantastic day today. So, while I get this chat up really quick, which I forgot to do, we're going to go over some of the rumors that have been going on. The number one thing we're probably going to talk about today is Hassan Reddick, and unfortunately, it's not all fantastic news. It doesn't seem like Reddick is going to stay. The two things that are good about this whole entire situation is, one, he has no leverage over the Eagles, and two, the market, the trade value, I guess, is just really dry right now. So if they're expecting to get a second-round pick for Hassan Reddick, it's probably not going to happen. But what is the backup plan at this point? You know, at this point, Reddick should just at least stay for a year and wait until next year for, I don't know, play for another contract for next year. I don't know. I mean, he's really got no choice at this point. He's not going to hold out for the whole entire year. It's 100% not going to happen. You know, so you can only take so much in account of what you think he's going to do. Like, he ain't sitting out the year. You know, because at the end of the day, if he sits out, the Eagles will get money back for him, and it'll just be a waste. So I feel at this point, the Eagles are holding all the cards right now. Hassan's not holding any cards. Hassan just keeps backing this thing up entirely. Okay, and it's getting annoying now. It's like, okay, dude, like, how much money are you really wanting? And it must be a hefty price. I mean, the Eagles probably don't even want to pay him close to $20 million a year. Probably not. They probably want to bump his pay up, but they're not going to bump him up like crazy like that. You know what I mean? I mean, there's no news on what the price tag is. There's no news. All I can say is this: I'm looking at other defensive ends. I'm looking at Brian Burns, what he got traded for. Brian Burns. I mean, the Giants gave up a second-round pick and then some. Okay, so they gave up a second-round pick, then some. Okay, I got you. Really, for not much. I mean, Reddick is older, and I just feel like teams aren't giving up a first-round pick for him. I mean, at least how it looks like Howie is trying to get a little bit more for Hassan Reddick, a little bit extra. So we'll see. I don't think they're going to get it though. And then there was obviously news. Hold on, let me put this Twitter up quick, so I don't mess up the chat here. And then I saw that what's his face. So it says, as a trade is likely imminent in the near future, worth mentioning the Falcons is a top suitor for Hassan Reddick. Marino NFL mentioned them this morning as well in what can be described as a lackluster market for Reddick. Atlanta is a suitor. So, I mean, Atlanta might be the only team right now that has interest in Hassan Reddick. And I know they have a high second-round pick. I know they have a high second. So... I mean, if you're contending, like, at the end of the day, I don't know what Reddick wants, but Howie Roseman is trying to contend for a Super Bowl this year. Okay, so there's really nothing Reddick can really do but sit out or play for another or play again for another contract. I mean, that's really it. If the market is dry, the Eagles aren't going to get the compensation they want, then Reddick has to lower his price. Then he's going to. Unfortunately, like this, every year of every free agency is different. Sometimes the markets dry up quick. You know, that's just what it is right now. Howie Roseman is contending for a Super Bowl right now, so it's just to a point where both sides have to come to agreement of something. Look, Hassan Reddick has no leverage in this situation. He has none. The only thing he can do is hold out, which all he's going to do is hurt himself if he holds out, because that's not going to help him for next year. So a lot here to really go over. I know Howard Eskin said some stuff, so look at that real quick. Let's see. Joe de Macara says, I will remain steadfast in my belief that the Eagles should go really hard to prioritize keeping Hassan Reddick here for a couple of years. I think it's their best defensive player. I agree. My instincts tell me the Eagles do not value him as much as they should. Well, dude, they just paid fucking Bryce Huff. You know, they're not gonna, like, they knew that they were gonna sit in a fucking waiting match for Hassan Reddick, and they were not gonna sit there and be like, okay, Hassan, we'll wait and see what number you want, you know, because the Eagles weren't gonna miss out on Bryce Huff if that's the case. They're not gonna wait out on Hassan Reddick and what he wants to do if this was gonna be some really long decision that he was going to make. Okay, so you signed Bryce Huff to $17 million a year. Big contract, okay? Reddick just has to fucking play this year. I mean, simple as that. At the end of the day, like, if a team isn't trading high draft capital, don't fucking trade him. And if Hassan Reddick wants to hold out, then let him fucking hold out. Let him sit the whole season. I don't care. That we need him this year, unfortunately. I mean, it's just, if they lose him for like shitty picks, not only I'll be pissed about it, but there is another side to it where it could be positive, where the Eagles might maneuver some things. What is the plan B if Hassan Reddick is gone? You know? What is the plan B move? I announced I did a video this morning on the whole situation, and I think the plan B move for the Eagles if they get rid of Hassan Reddick is the Eagles are going to try to get that third round pick they gave away for Kenny Pickett. They're going to get that third rounder. Remember, it was rumored they would get a second or a third and a fifth. They get the third and the fifth round pick, right? They get the third and the fifth round pick. They get their third round pick back. They use the extra picks to go out and trade for a cornerback. Okay? Then they go into this draft and they draft the number one edge rusher to replace and have another guy for the future. So, I mean, sorry, not an edge rusher. Get a cornerback. So, I mean, sorry, get an edge rusher. Sorry. So you use that third round pick and then some picks to trade for a corner and then go out and get your edge rusher. Sorry, my fucking brain isn't working normally today. I mean, that's another, you know, or they're going to sacrifice Hassan Reddick, get less picks and say, look, we got to get rid of him. If he's not going to be happy and we don't want him to stay here being unhappy, then, you know, you free up a ton of cap space and that's it. I mean, that's all you really do. I know Howard Eskin had some things to say about this whole thing as well, and kind of called Hassan out and said, you know, just take the $14 million a year and just shut your mouth, pretty much. Like, you know what I mean? But I understand that. I mean, I don't agree with that 100%. Like, some of these guys, I mean, he definitely deserves a pay raise, but this wasn't the perfect timing of free agency for him to get a pay raise. It just wasn't. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I get it, you know, but this is a business and there's no market for Hassan Reddick. There's no market for him at all. So, you know, other than that news, really, it's been the Nick Scott, the Eagles, and Nick Scott is a safety from the Bengals, only had 35 tackles this year. I think he had a broken thumb, played all games. There's some mutual interest there with Nick Scott. Nothing on Justin Jefferson. Another day with no news on him whatsoever at this point. So hopefully hear some things, you know, maybe later on, you know, if we hear some things down the road, we'll see what happens. Let's say hi to everybody in the chat. Sorry for the rant. I just had to get that out. Kind of know like where we're going in this conversation, in this direction, in this stream today. But I want to thank everybody joining up on the ninth day of free agency as of right now. Very excited. I think there's obviously a lot more moves to go on. There's a lot more that's going to happen here. So what's going on, Ryan? We got Joe Rodriguez, Jay Tyler, Philly Sports Hustle, Catch by Thrift. What's going on? Killer Ghost, Jordan Powers, Jonas Espinal, what's going on? Donnie Ford, what's going on, man? The Real Gaming Nation. The Dub Sam, what's going on, dude? Jay says, since Devin is blitzing linebacker, we don't blitz off. Do you think skill set will be wasted? No, I mean, he attacks quarterbacks. he doesn't not blitz with his linebackers. He does. It's not that he doesn't. It's just that they do play a lot of. They do play in coverage a lot. So it's not. It's not that they don't use linebackers. They attack with linebackers. Andrew Van Ginkel had 53 pressures last year on quarterbacks with 6 sacks. You know, so. Come on, 1 HP. Major Facepalm. What's up, dude? Salty. Cherry, what's going on? What's up? Notori says, just saying, Reddick's stats are better than Burns, so if Burns went for a second, Reddick should too. Yeah, or more than that. He should go more than a second rounder. Fuck the second rounder. He should go more than that. But they ain't going to get a second round pick. If it's taking this long and Burns is a lot younger, the only thing that Burns has on Reddick is he's younger. Statistics aren't even close. But his age is nothing. You know, age is nothing. I mean, yeah, age is everything to a lot of teams because, you know, do teams look at Hassan Reddick as a long-term thing? You know, Reddick is a big trade piece for you to get him, to acquire him to try to compete for a Super Bowl. That's why you get him. That's why it makes no sense the Eagles getting rid of him unless they're getting a high draft pick for him. If you're not getting more than a higher than a second round pick, okay. If you're not getting a first round pick for Hassan Reddick, I don't want him moved. I mean, it makes no sense. No sense. Basically, yo, what's up? What's going on, man? Vinny? Josh Proud said, damn, I want to keep Reddick and get a cornerback in the first round. That's where I kind of want. That's the direction I kind of want to go into. That's where I'm kind of going. Jordan says Reddick is older though, won't get the same. Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like, it's like seriously, like this guy has better statistics, and really, it's all about the age of a player at this point. I guess people are taking account of that. Howie Roseman isn't just gonna pull the trigger and say, "Hey, you know what? Screw it. Let's just get the trade done." Nah, Reddick gotta just shut up and get what he fucking get it. Whatever the Eagles, and trust me, the Eagles have definitely upped his contract, but not to what he wants. Okay, I get it. But if it's dried up, it's dried up. You know? Wow, look at this. The Browns and wide receiver Jerry Jeudy have agreed to a 3-year contract extension worth up to $58 million. 41 fully guaranteed. Oh, fuck, dude. That's big. That's a big fucking contract, dude. That's what I'm saying, Big Sarge. Me in the middle. I think that would be fair. Guys said, man, they signed Sweat, not the best player that was on defense last year, and how do we know how much he is asking for? We know he's asking for more money. We already know this. If it's taking this fucking long, you know that he's asking for more money. You know that it's been a big, you know, this has been a back and forth the whole entire offseason. Which is the truth. It's been back and forth. For instance, Huff is younger. Only thing killing Reddick is his age. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what's like the big thing. Let me just get something real quick. Hold on. Sorry, I had to get a water because if I don't have water, I'm gonna freak out. So age is killing him, no doubt. George, I don't know about signing into a big deal. Extend players close to 30 and got burned every time. Just remember that Slay and Bradbury were some of the best corners in the NFL the year before. Yeah, and you know what? I don't believe. Okay, I don't believe that. I don't believe that Reddick is declining right now. If I even sense that he was like 1-2% declining, I would make this trade in a heartbeat. It would be no issue. But because there's value here, because he's still your best pass rusher, because I'm sorry, but Josh Sweat is not better than Hassan Reddick. We all know this. Bringing Josh Sweat was like on a restructure was kind of surprising. And we're saying, man, like if there is any possible way that they could keep Hassan Reddick in the building, man, I'll be fucking happy. But it just seems like it's not going in that direction as of right now. You know, we'll see, but it's unfortunate. So it's unfortunate. But Legends Joey, bro. Hope everybody's going well. You too, man. Ryan says, I think at some point we'll lower his price and get a contract done. Yeah, I mean, I feel so too. I feel so too. I feel like the longer this is at a standstill, something is going to get done. Because at the end of the day, it's not all about Hassan Reddick. It's about the Philadelphia Eagles as well, because they want to be in a specific position. This isn't the Eagles. He's the one that asked for permission to go seek a number. Okay, Hassan Reddick went to the Eagles and say, hey, I don't want to get traded, but I want to go out and talk to other teams, see what my value is, blah blah blah. I'll come back with a number and get something. We'll try to meet in the middle and get something done. And it still hasn't worked. Still anything has even happened at this point. So hard for me to believe that he is gonna leave. I mean, the days are counting. I mean, you could still at this point. So we're gonna give this a whole nother week. So they moved his roster bonus money. Okay, his $2 million, $1 million. They moved it to April 1st. So something is going to get done within another week. By another week and a half, this will be settled, because the Eagles will have to pay his roster bonus. They will have to pay Reddick the $1 million for the roster bonus. So now we're actually at the deadline to this whole entire situation, So that's kind of where we're at right now. Let's see. What's going on in my basement, MMA? Doesn't enjoy. Are you feeling okay, my brother? Yeah, I'm good. Ross and Fallon, what's going on, man? Yeah, I mean, look, pay him, but they're not going to pay him what he wants. It's not going to happen. At this point in time, it's definitely not happening. I think they'll pay him more, but they're not going to pay him what he wants. Two different things there. Ryan, of course, I'm more worried about the back end, man. Reddick is under contract, and we have pass rushers. Get us Simmons, Howie. I'll grab. Trust me, like at this point, like if they want to trade for a corner, I don't think they're going to do it. But I mean, if they did it, I'd be like, yeah, sure, why not? If it's going to be not going to cost the whole farm and the Eagles' future. At this point, go out and go get Justin Simmons. He's still available at this point. So, Justin Simmons is still available right now. I mean, it's kind of crazy. But we'll see more. We'll see some rumors later on. I mean, every day at this point, it seems like Justin Simmons' price is just going to lower and lower and lower, and Vic Fangio would be stupid not to jump on it, and the connection is just there. So Ryan said, I heard the Eagles are willing to pay Hassan Reddick 22 to 23. Yeah, I heard like 20 to 23. I heard pretty much the same thing. And if that's the case, dude, I'm telling you. It's like, I understand, dude, like you're at the latter part of your career, you're at the high edge of it right now, and you want to make as much money as possible. Trust me, I completely get it, but Savvy, what's going on, dude? Hope you're having a good morning, dude. Too, my guy. LeBron, what's up, dude? Hope you're having a good day, man. Fields on the Steelers, yes. Frank, what's going on, Frank? But he says, God paid our best pass rusher on the team. That's what I'm saying, dude. I think this is different. And I know people are saying, oh, we got, Bradbury, look what happened to Bradbury and Slay coming off good years. I'm like, well, I wouldn't go far to say too far in that. Okay. Slay, I feel like is a good player. I don't think they use Slay right. I don't think they don't like, I love when Slay follows the number one receiver. I feel like that's when he's at his best. They don't do that. He gets lazy at times, and it's a bunch of coaching. It's a bunch of other things. I mean, look, James Bradbury athletically, I don't think he's athletically good enough for this scheme, but the pass rush has got to be there. So maybe Fangio is going to keep James Bradbury because he thinks, you know what? under Vic Fangio as a consultant, Bradbury played pretty fucking good. You know, with a pass rush, yeah, a great pass rush will help your secondary tremendously. It's like they don't have to do much of anything all season, and plays are easily made at that point. You know what I mean? You know, so we'll see what happens, but it's gonna be kind of crazy. Nifty 350D with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. Since they waiting on Reddick to decide on Simmons. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it could be. It could be. Appreciate Superman. I'm not giving up on Justin Simmons until like he's fully gone. Like I'm not giving up on the situation until like I know it's like done, it's over with. One and one said, "What up, man? Love the content on this channel. Keep up the great work. I really hope Simmons gets signed to the Birds. Appreciate it so much. Appreciate the support, man. And yeah, I hope so. I hope so too, man. If they really keep Bryce, Huff, keep Josh Sweat, and keep Reddick, man, we'll be set. We'll be set." And you have an entire draft to do whatever the hell you want. Whatever you want, man. You know? So we'll see. Ron says, it's not up to Vic, it's up to Howie, that dude who controls who plays and the roster. Oh yeah, he does the trading picks and doing all that. I mean, Fangio's got no say in that. The Eagles are not. There's nothing to do with Fangio or Howie because they wanted him here. I mean, Reddick is still on contract. He isn't a free agent. You know, he's on contract with the Eagles for his last year of his deal. You know, he's still a Philadelphia Eagle right now for the next season. So it's not like he's a free agent and they're trying to work things out. You know, Beard says, "What up, Joe? What's going on, Beard?" Yeah, but so Daniel Jeremiah's latest mock draft, I've seen Nate Wiggins is slated to be a Philadelphia Eagles on the latest today. I saw this morning. And it says Nate Wiggins is Devonte Smith of this draft, both doubted because of their frame. That is true. Does anyone else find it weird that Devin White was scheduled for 1:30 to speak and it's almost 3? No, dude, stop. You guys get too fucking crazy with shit like that. Devontae Parker was late to his shit. Chauncey was out of town, wasn't even in Philadelphia when they signed him. You know what I mean? So, no, I don't know. People need to chill. They fucking Devontae Parker was supposed to have they were already late doing Kenny Pickett's interview. Devontae Parker was like, they did his shit really late. They made people wait an extra 25 minutes after they had literally both their pictures up that they were going to interview both of them, the press conference for both of them. And then after Kenny Pickett was done, they literally the stream was paused, but it was still live for another like 30 minutes. And then they ended it. So WSP says Chauncey Gardner-Johnson back and help the Bradbury's confident. I love seeing our players working out. Oh yeah, 100%, dude. The back end's looking great, and it looks like they're trying to add another body at safety. I knew they're going to add another body there. You know what I mean? So we'll see where it goes. Devin White says still sucks. Devin White press conference. King J says give him 23, another 2 if he gets 15. Yeah, I mean, I would try to do some, maybe not mostly incentive based, but at least put some incentives on there. Born Alone Dylon says, I will let Reddick go to Chicago for at number 9 pick. They can have that 120. Give me Peyton or Chop, Big Birds. Yeah, I mean, I mean, they could do that. I mean, they could do that, but I don't think Chicago needs an edge rusher right now. There's not a lot of suitors right now for Reddick. That's the problem. Not only is there not enough suitors for Reddick, there's just not enough value in a trade for what teams are available to trade for him. And they're not willing to give what the Eagles want. Whatever the price is, they're not willing to give it away. Go on, Jackson. Ryan says Howie might be working on. Oh, he's working on a bunch of shit. I mean, it wouldn't shock me at this point. Joseph, I want a lot too. If Reddick is gone, he is 6'5" or 230 and moves through drills like a wide receiver. His athleticism is amazing. Oh yeah, dude. Like, I think him in coverage, I think, would be fantastic. I mean, you want him to rush the quarterback, but I think he's a great outside guy as well. He's an off-ball guy as well. I think he could play off-ball too. The best edge rusher in this draft, hands down, 100%. I mean, they would have to go top 15. They would have to move up top 15 if they really do want him. The only thing mocks are good for is determining the general area around a player will get drafted. That's somewhat true. But also, I have a funny feeling the Eagles will sign Reddick after signing Simmons. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, so far, I mean, the longer this shit takes, the more likely he'll be back. Because there's just no... They're not getting what they want. The Eagles are not getting what they want. They got to figure something out. That Reddick has got to figure his shit out. Because... This is the worst. This is the worst time of him trying to get a contract right now. Especially it's so late in free agency now. It's just to a point where, you know, what teams are going to be, you know, crazy. So, LeBron says, Joey, did you see that Hall might be playing the Browns in Brazil week 1 on a Friday night? Hall? That Hall might be playing the Browns in Brazil week 1 on a Friday night. What do you mean by Hall? What are you talking about? I'm really stupid right now. What are you saying? At least if we were to sign Reddick and sign Simmons, surely cornerback a pick at 22. Oh yeah, I mean, if they do both of those moves, yeah, I feel like it's 100% going to be it's 100% going to be a cornerback in the first round. If they were able to pick up Justin Simmons and re-sign Reddick, I mean, your defensive line is pretty much set at this point going to the draft. If they get a third for Reddick, dude, and it wouldn't shock me, but I don't think Howie's going to take a third round pick. But it wouldn't shock me if they just said, screw it, let's just get the third rounder because we don't have the third rounder. You know what I mean? Damascus Roberts, what's going on, man? Listen, not getting Showers first. Burns didn't even go for that, and he's in his prime. Philly 0024. So might as well just keep him and let him walk. Just keep him and let him walk for a comp pick. If they get a comp pick for him, yeah. I mean, he might as well play the rest of the year this year. Play the rest of the year and give him more guaranteed money in this deal. I mean, give him more guaranteed money. Kind of what they did with Josh Sweat. Give him more guaranteed money up front in his 1 year deal. Add a little bit of money, make it more guaranteed, and just call it a day. At this point, let him play out his last year. The Joseph Leon, know my issue I have with the draft, so it seems the best corners are going to be taken before 22, and I don't want us to get not one of the best corners instead of just beefing up our line. Well, we'll see what we look like. We don't know if they'll trade for a cornerback. We don't know we don't even know if Bradbury is on, is even going to get moved at this point. If they might not even be thinking about a cornerback right now. I mean, they might think, Bradbury's going to fit in what they do this year. You know what I mean? So we don't even really know. Oh no, you're good. It looks, I don't know. I heard the Browns, I heard the Steelers. I think it is the Browns on Friday night, but we'll see. I don't know. Nothing's really official yet, but Friday night game is great. I don't mind a Friday night game because I don't gotta worry about work the next day or nothing, so it looks great. Will says, what's the cap looking like now? The cap is like between 30 to 40 million still. We're good in cap. The cap's no issue. And if the Reddick will give us another $11+ million, whether you trade him or fuck it. So I mean, you're still going to get some cap, a big chunk of cap back. Eagles are great on cap. I'm not worried about cap. One piece of Reg situation reminds me of the Chauncey Gardner situation when he's overvalued himself when he wants to. Yeah, I mean, that's the same thing what Justin Simmons is doing. Overvaluing. I'm like, it's not like it's not. The difference is Justin Simmons has been a safety his whole career. You know, that's the difference. But he has put a big price on himself, almost like the Chauncey situation. Put a big price on himself, you know, and has waited and waited and waited and waited, and nothing's happening. You know. Major Facepalm with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, Eagles said, Reddick, sorry, you were underpaid, undervalued early in your career. Not our fault. Take the 22, 23 million over the next 3 years and fight for a ring. That's what I'm saying, dude. If they gave him like a 2-year extension, okay, I'm fine with a 2-year extension. Give him a little bit more guaranteed money in the second year or something like that, then that's perfectly fine. I got no issue with it. I got no issue with it. They just got to make it work. And the longer this goes on, the more that he's gonna be coming back at this point. Simmons says we really need to appreciate the super major facepalm. Basically, Simmons says we really need some safety help. We need Justin Simmons. Yeah. Well, we don't need safety help like crazy, but we just don't have enough at that spot. I feel like 2 is just not enough. And Reed Blankenship, I mean, there's already rumors that, you know, Nick Scott from the Bengals, apparently there's mutual interest. They might be going after Nick Scott at 28 years old. He's not a bad safety at all. Fits Fangio's system really well. But Justin Simmons is like the cream of the crop right now when it comes to just the connection with Vic Fangio, you know, and still playing at all pro level. So I think he's going to kick Reed out, and Reed will be the number 3 safety this year. He'll make the roster, no doubt. So we'll see. Matt Crest says, I would let Reddick play out his contract and see how the market is next year. Philly 0024 says, boring as it might feel like we're going to wind up taking a tackle with how deep the classes went with them. Oh, dude, I mean, they don't even have to take a tackle in the first round. If they took offensive line in the first round, it wouldn't upset me. You know how many teams don't value offensive line in the draft? A lot. You know how many teams like the Giants sign like 2 offensive linemen through free agency? Like that's not how you do it, man. You got to draft guys. This is why you can have a successful offensive line for years. The more you draft well, especially getting guys in the trenches at that point, you're good to go for the future. You know what I mean? Microvex said, we need a corner. Slay is on his last year. Traxberry needs to go. Drew said, I hope Howie doesn't go to the Reddick, doesn't let go of Reddick. Just draft the D lineman, draft the skills player on defense, our biggest weakness. Il Sanstio, so he just needs to stay home, but just take what they're offering. Haas, come back home. We love you here. We do, man. We love him. We love him, no doubt. Draft Newbin, Kitchens, or Bullard. Yeah, I just did a video on Tyler Newbin. I'll have another video out today for the memberships. But yeah, I mean, there's some exciting players out there. Newbin is like a athletic freak all over the field. I mean, he covers the field with the. I got such good range, man. It's crazy, man. Crazy. Hold on. Let's see. Make sure I have this right, so I'm not screwing up here. Because I feel the fan base overrates Reed Blankenship. He's average safety at best. I feel like we need to see what else we can get, because I don't feel like he's the best. He's one of the best safeties in the league. Yes, he's one of the hardest hitters. Yes, he tackles. Yes, I get all that, but I feel like people are so in love with him to the point where it's like, you know, Reed was really part of a bad group. I think his coverage is subpar. I think he's more of a contact in the box safety. You know, I think people are overvaluing him too much. Not to say that he can't be, you know, he'll make the roster. Like, I do like Reed Blankenship, but I don't think he's like one of the best safeties out there. You know, Zach Cunningham was a good player, part of a bad group of linebackers, and Reed Blankenship was probably the best safety. You know, a good player of the bad bunch, really, last year. So, you know, besides Sidney Brown, because I think Sidney Brown's going to be a good talent. You know, I have a lot of faith in Sidney Brown going forward. What's up, King J? He says, Reddick sees the Eagles' huge cap room and can pay what he wants. Reddick himself needs to decide if he wants that top money or a ring. Yeah. he'll get paid somewhere else. That's not the problem. The problem is it's like the Eagles want to get good compensation for him, and they're not going to get it. So I'm glad the Eagles aren't just letting Hassan go somewhere. I'm glad they're actually thinking about themselves before Hassan, because that's how it should go with a player like that. And unfortunately, like, other teams didn't pay him really big money. Like somebody said in the chat earlier, people didn't, Hassan Reddick never really got that big deal, a while back. He never really got the big deal ever, to be honest, because he was there were seasons where he was underutilized before he came to Philadelphia, even coming away from Arizona, they used him more as an outside linebacker in Arizona. And I think towards the last year of his contract in Arizona, where he was drafted, they started to really use him as an edge rusher, and that's where he started to flourish in his last year with the Cardinals. Then he got a nice chunk of change from the Panthers, and that was really it. So it was you make Reddick play it out. He will hold out, be pissed that here comes Philly media, and it will be a huge distraction. Oh, dude, it is. This is normal shit, dude. At the end of the day, like, it's normal. Like, there's nothing to hide with this situation. There's nothing to hide at all. Like this, unfortunately, that's something we just can't control. It's just what it is, but can't be afraid of what the Philly media is going to say. Like, of course, they're going to make a story out of it. It is what it is. That's the rumor playing the Browns in the Brazil game. It's the rumor right now. Don't know yet if it's like 100% true. It's not official yet, so. Wednesday says, crazy that Steven Nelson talking about Eagle fans that Lurie gave him a raise incentives before the playoffs. Yeah, I do remember that. I do actually remember that. And he was ass juice anyway. He was ass juice. Hassan Reddick said he wants to stay, then show it. Yeah, that's I'm telling you, dude. That's why these guys that hit the end of their careers are close to at the top tier of the end of their career. Like, that's what happens, man. Like, they say all that shit, but they want as much money as they possibly can. Why do you think, like, at the end of the day, like, why do you think Chase Young gets a fully guaranteed deal from the Saints? Like, they go to these teams. And Jadeveon Clowney goes to the Panthers. You think Jadeveon Clowney goes to the Panthers because they're going to win a Super Bowl? No, he's going there because he's going to get paid the most money. It's obvious. It's not. I mean, we're not stupid. Andy says, hit the like button. Appreciate so much, Anthony. Philly 0024, James Williams from Miami is a really interesting prospect. He's 6'5", that moves really well and great against the run. Wouldn't mind taking him day 2, bring him to a hybrid linebacker. Umbriana Mania says, well, it's good, Joey Shakes. We need a veteran corner, because if we draft a corner and lost Bradbury, who is our number 2, 3, 4 behind Slay? Well, dude, I mean, if I need a veteran corner, if we draft a corner and lost Bradbury. Well, if you draft a corner and lose if you get rid of Bradbury, you're drafting your number 1 guy. And I think the depth is great for the Philadelphia Eagles when it comes to corner. I'm not worried about depth at cornerback. I'm not worried about depth at cornerback at all. I think that Isaiah Rodgers, Keely Ringo, Eli Ricks. I mean, I think there's really good depth at that spot. I'm not really worried. I think the depth is like the least thing to even worry about when it comes to corner. The issue we have here is, like, do they want to keep Bradbury? Is he athletically, is he good enough to even, does he have anything left really to give to this defense? Or is Vic Fangio looking at saying, you know what, I think he's doing a pretty good job. He played well when I was a consultant in Philadelphia in 22. Because he did play well, and then, the Super Bowl, I think there's a mental thing with Bradbury. Maybe the Super Bowl kind of messed him up. Maybe he hasn't really had much confidence. I don't know. I could be wrong, though. Mike says only 61 likes. Yeah, definitely hit the like button, guys. Appreciate everybody coming in the stream today. Umbriana Mania says, why don't we sign a corner and draft a corner so this way we can have Slay and another vet to help the young DBs out? And said, give me Falcons third and swap 53 for 43. I could do that, but I don't want to do it. I mean, it sounds great, you know, it sounds okay, but I don't want to trade him. Like, if I'm not getting a first round pick, I don't care. I know we're not going to get it, but I don't want to trade him, you know. Here, I'm going to put a poll up really quick. Hold on, I'm gonna put a poll up really fast. All right, I'm gonna put this poll up right now. I'm gonna give us like a minute or two. I'm gonna go do something real fast. I forgot to take out something real quick outside. I'm gonna put this poll up. Just vote on this poll, and I'll be back in like literally a minute. I won't take long. I'll be back literally like a minute and a half. I'll be back. Like, give me 2 seconds. Vote on that poll, and I'll be back in a second. All right, hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. Sorry. Today's been a fucking crazy day today. It's just one of those days today. It's been crazy today. Going on. Why is the chat not restored? Oh, we're good. Okay. All right, so we'll go over at the end of the stream. We'll go over. I want to put that up just so it's up there. I want to see people and their kind of reactions of it. Fucking guys. No, I had to go get a package that I've been waiting for. I had to sign for something. So, because if the guy leaves, I'm screwed. I'm not gonna be able to get the delivery. So, Joe said, what I think people see and even see if is a drive play-by-play hard pause. I think we can grow more in coverage under better coaching. Hey, look, I mean, I don't like. I mean, Bradbury, I'm not really high on right now. I mean, if they kept him, then I don't know. Then there must be some plan behind it, you know? So. One piece of glad Hurts is our QB since he helped the family of his high school rival football player act as. Yeah, that was fucking nuts, dude. That was nuts. That was crazy news today. It actually scared me because the way I read it, the way I was kind of reading it, I was like freaking out over it. I was hoping, I mean, that's Jalen Hurts, man. He's a class act, dude. He's a class act, crazy, man. Big Sarge says, in that scenario, if we get the Falcons 43, then we need to draft Edgar and Cooper. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, Cooper is definitely high on my list. I mean, perfect for the scheme. I mean, could drop in this draft. They could get him. They could pile him up. Bro, I mean, it's just like me a Gilmore maybe trade for a DB and then draft a corner. Let's say we sign Gilmore. You could have Slade, Gilmore, Ringo, whatever DB. We draft Rodgers and then Ricks. Dude, I'm done with old corners, man. That's there's rumors that he's apparently going back to the Patriots. Apparently, he must have no interest from teams because look how late it's been in free agency. Even Dallas didn't even re-sign him. So we'll see. You guys are fucking mean. Corey says he show you he could play. Playing for us is what we're looking for. So why money? Given the bag, we might get a ring. Well, maybe they don't want to give him $25+ million. Like, I understand it from both sides. On one half, Reddick definitely deserves to get extra money. Now, if Reddick played on his money right now, like his regular contract that he's scheduled for the Eagles this year, Reddick would be the 24th highest paid defensive end. He went from the 16th highest paid, 16th last year. Now with all the new contracts this year, if he actually played on his current contract, he'd be the 24th highest paid. It's insane, man. But he deserves more money. But the Eagles, they don't want to. I understand why. Turning 30 years old, I don't want to pay guys at 30 years old. I don't either. I get it. I didn't watch the White press conference because I've obviously been here. So, I've been here. I will watch it in a little bit. Lewis says, hate to see him go, but we need to get things over so we can move on and prepare. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think it's hurting the Eagles by being in this situation, but simply would help if they got something done. Yeah. Devin White said he would sign with the Eagles because he wanted to stay in the winning culture. That's good. I mean, the way the Eagles played last year, I'm surprised players even want to sign with us at this point. I mean, I'm talking like late free agents that want to sign here. I'm surprised there's guys that even want to sign here at this point by the way this collapsed last season. But, obviously a bad year for the Eagles is 11 wins, which shouldn't have been 11 wins, but a bad year under 11 wins is other people, other players think of that as, damn, like, imagine if I can get to this team, like what I would give. Devin White, I think, is very underrated. As much as everyone's going to look at the stats and say he sucks and he's trash and he's washed and everyone thinks he's 30 years old, which he's not. He's going to his prime. I think Devin White is going to really reinvent himself in Philadelphia. I think you're going to see a different player in Philadelphia with Devin White, and you actually have like a 3-down, pure, most athletic type linebacker. Devin White's best trait is his pass rush, blitzing, going after quarterbacks. I mean, that's his bread and butter right there. He's very disruptive. I think a lot of really good things about Hassan Reddick going forward. I feel really, really good about it. So give it more time, see what happens. I feel really good about. I feel really good, really, really good about Devin White. No doubt. Plus, at the end of the day, too, like, we got to remember, like, Devonte Smith needs to get extended. Smith needs an extension. Like, that's got to happen. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, Smith is getting extended. I don't care how it goes. It's happening. You know what I mean? Ron says moving the bonus back can be for an extension negotiation, not necessarily for a trade. White piece says White going motivate Dean and try to recruit him to LSU. I could see them two motivate each other. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, look, the problem with Dean right now is his availability. Is the number one thing with Dean is staying healthy, and he hasn't. And I'm kind of already like, I'm not giving up on him, but I'm like kind of imagining that he's not even on the team right now. Like, until he shows me that he can at least stay healthy and try to stay on the field and not miss the whole entire offseason program, because that's what happened. Dean was out with that ankle injury for like weeks, and it was just like, man. Umbreon, you say, yeah, I thought Gilmore is better than the corners we have. Joe can't cover Eli Ricks. Is Young Slay is the only lock we have. Yeah, but going after a free agent corner is probably not the best. A free agent corner, what's left out there to be like your main, your number 2 for this year or whatever. I don't know, man. Like, there's too many corners in this draft for me to go out and get an. It's time, guys. It's time to go get a corner in the first round. But this Hassan Reddick shit, this Hassan Reddick stuff needs to be figured out. It has to be figured out, because this is just getting ridiculous now. Been weeks. So we're going to find out in like a week and a half what goes on. We're going to find out because they moved Reddick's signing bonus, his roster bonus, from yesterday's date to the 1st of April. So we're actually going to hear. So by the 1st of April, something is going to happen. He's either staying or he's leaving. So by that time, they can only move his roster bonus, like, I think, one time to a certain date. I don't think they can keep doing that. So it says they're trying to facilitate a trade, which they're not getting any. They're getting trade interest, but it's not heavy because of what the Eagles want in draft compensation. I'm glad that the Eagles are not giving him up for nothing. I'm glad that that's what it seems like, because it's taken this long at this point. Folks, I understand why Howie is reluctant to pay Reddick, because he's an undersized defensive end at 30 years old. Don't really want to pay out 20-something. Yeah, I mean, why do you think we didn't pay Javon Hargrave? They could have paid him if they wanted, but they didn't. Like, for a guy to get $21 million a year, whatever it was, like, at 30 years old, like, there's even 49er fans that don't even like Javon Hargrave at all after what happened in the playoffs. So, you know what I mean? Like, to pay a guy at 30 years old that much money is fucking insane, dude. I understand it. Joe Banner never did that shit. Before Howie Roseman, Joe Banner never fucking kept guys at 30, and he never fucking gave guys money at 30 years old. Would never fucking happen here. We've made that mistake plenty of times, and it's always 100% backfired on us regardless. So, Umbreon Mania says, look at Howard. He had 7 picks in either 2021. If Slay is the only corner that's going to get picks, we may as well. Drew says, Saquon is the best. We won 11 games, had a bad down year. We should have won about 14. Yeah, probably a little bit more than that, dude. Probably a little bit more than that. They probably should at least won another 4 games. They should have done a lot more. But either or, we're both right at the end of the day. Live the dream. What's going on, man? Said what I loved about his presser, they asked him about this role, and he said, I got to prove to Coach Vic I could be on the field first. Damn hell of an answer. Who you talking about? Devin White you're talking about? You see, once says Devin White said he was injured and he's looking to get back to being himself. He was injured was he injured last year? I mean, he was benched last year. Jackson says, how's the truck been for you? It's been good. I have an issue with the front left tire. I think I have like a slow leak or something because I think something's up with my front left tire. I'm going to go get it checked out this week. But other than that, it's been pretty good. Drew says, I'm kind of hyped for Devin White. He will look tight in the green. Danny says, just an interesting take, but Reddick might be a little overrated because of Cox. No diss on Carter, but he ain't no Cox, so I see him going down his performance next couple of years, so not worth it. I think he's worth it. I don't think he's... Yeah, I mean, but if you leave Reddick on those one-on-ones, and there's... but I don't get what you're saying, but he's not... If DTs get double teamed and he gets those one-on-ones, I mean, that's perfectly fine. I mean, how do you not think that Reddick is just an overrated talent? I don't think he's overrated at all. I mean, every defensive lineman last year hit a brick wall last year. I mean, a bad year under bad coaching and Reddick still getting double-digit sacks and still winning his matchups, and defensive line can't hit home because the corners are off the ball so much, and we just didn't have the right scheme. We didn't have the right coach. We didn't have the right, really much. They weren't put in good positions to win football games. They didn't run stunts with their defensive line. They didn't run downhill with the linebackers. I mean, they didn't, just no creativity. Just no creativity, and just everything failed at that point, Jack Cunningham is a free agent right now. He is still out there. He is actually still available right now. Still available. What if he says, give Smith the contract, whatever he wants? His Bama teammates, Ridley and Judy, got his contract. Yeah, Judy, Judy, I know he was due a contract, but it's interesting. What if he said, glad Howie paid Dickerson? I'm glad they locked him up. I was actually surprised. I was actually a little surprised that they locked him up already. I know my camera's off. I'm doing something real quick. I was kind of shocked. And that was the first thing they did. That was the first thing they did in free agency. They locked him up, which was great. That's part of our free agency too, so locking up your own dudes like that. So it's always a great thing to see that Howie's locking up his offensive line. Every time you see an offensive lineman get a big extension, I got no issue with it because, this is why you could run the football. This is why you could be very successful on offense in a lot of different ways. So Jack Mellon says maybe the Eagles can't afford to extend both Reddick, Smith and Reddick. At this point, I'd definitely go with Smith over Reddick. Well, 100% I would. So the Eagles are in the driver's seat. Hassan Reddick doesn't have no leverage in the situation. So they have a week and a half to get something done. April 1st is the deadline. They're not moving his roster bonus another fucking 2 weeks after. They moved his roster bonus because they want to try to facilitate a trade, quote unquote. So we'll see. We'll see. But we have 226 in the chat on the 9th day of Eagles free agency. A lot of rumors going on. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Check out the video I just uploaded today. And hit the like button like crazy in this stream. If you guys have it, please hit the like button. I do appreciate it so much. We have 76 likes. Let's try to get over 100 likes. Easy for this stream. Appreciate it so much. Check out the pinned comment for membership videos, extra content. We did Tyler Newman a day or two ago. We got another one coming out. So we'll be having these videos every day going forward. Appreciate everybody that's become a member. There's been a lot of people that have been becoming members and really supporting the channel tremendously and looking at some of the other content. So I appreciate so much for everybody jumping in the stream today. Make sure if you guys haven't, check out the poll in the live chat and vote on it if you guys haven't. Because I think that's really important going forward. We'll see where the hell we're at with this right now. I can't even see the whole thing. Why can't I see the whole thing? Really weird. I don't know why. I can't look at this whole thing. Oh, there we go. Okay. 161 votes on the poll as of right now. Okay. I'm just making sure. I want to check real quick. How many votes are on? Dynasty Joe, if you had a choice, would you rather draft Edgar Cooper or Peyton Wilson? I'd probably get Cooper, to be honest with you. Just because for the scheme in general, and I think when it comes to tackling, just a little bit better. And Peyton Wilson is going to be really good. It's going to be a tough one. The only way Edgar and Cooper that a lot of people are starting to like get off the rails with him is his durability, maybe a little bit, and could be concerning down the road, but we'll see. Plus, I think it helps getting new players here by signing good players like Saquon. Oh yeah, I mean it does. I mean it makes the team, when a team looks at a team that's signing a bunch of guys, it makes it look like, oh man, they really want to win. They're piling up. Oh my god, imagine if I was in that lineup. You know what I mean? So it always makes players, because I remember when no free agents want to come to Philadelphia. I remember nobody wanted to play here, and it seems like everybody wants to play with Jalen Hurts. Everybody wants to be, with these certain guys in this defense, so I get it. Falcons got a third comp pick for Ridley trade. It's really hard. It can't stop the run. Well, dude, he's not a run. Well, dude, he's not a run stuffer. He's not a run stuffer. I mean, I don't get why people do that shit. It's like every player is like, oh, it's like Bryce Huff can't stop the run. Oh, Hassan Reddick can't stop the run. It's like, dude, like, you know what? They bring guys in to go after quarterbacks. Like, a lot of edge guys, a lot of DTs. There's guys that can't go against the run. There's guys that just can't do it. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You gotta have a run stuffer in your lineup, which we definitely have a couple. And I think Muro Jomo, I think. Obviously, Jalen Carter's very good at it. Jordan Davis, obviously, because he will be playing nose this year. So, at least Eagles trying to wait till somebody gets desperate and sends that second. Realistically, though, I think it's a third. But you're not taking a third, though. They were probably already offered a third at this point. It wouldn't shock me if they were already offered that. Danny says White was benched because of nagging foot injury, played 14, started 12. So that's interesting. So that makes it even more interesting now. So he was benched because of an injury last year. And he stayed on the bench for a while. That's crazy. All right. Allergies of DY, yeah, he said he got to prove it to Vic. Matt says, you think this is a make or break year for Jordan Davis? 100%. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, it's just to a point now. Like I said, I can't put too much on him. I know he kind of hit a wall at the end of the year, middle of the year. I know a lot of the guys on the defensive line did. I think Josh Sweat did. I think Reddick did. I think a lot of guys hit a wall, not just Jordan Davis. But better conditioning, better shape. We'll see. Let's see. Umbrella says Latua, Chop Robinson, Jared Verse, Jaron Newton, or Byron Murphy, because BG is retiring this year. Cox is gone, so I figured we'd do that and then draft a DB in the second round. Yeah, I mean, they could go after an edge guy. Could go after. I mean, if they put, I'd actually be more surprised if they went DT. To be honest with you, I think they go more edge than DT. But I mean, maybe I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, but they put like first round picks in the defensive tackles the last couple of years, so. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. He says Devin White kept Jalen Hurts his props, and they both was in high school class camps, and he played against Devonte Smith in high school. Oh, no shit. That's crazy. Easy one says via 2 NFL scouts, Texas A&M Pro Day, Edgar Cooper 40-yard dash. Via 2 NFL scouts, Texas A&M Pro Day, Cooper 40-yard dash 4.46. That's good 40. Which corner is your favorite in the first round minus Kool-Aid? I actually like Quinion Mitchell a lot because I think he's got pushback. He's a physical corner. I like Quinion Mitchell a lot. I like Terrion Arnold. I think Terrion Arnold is really solid too. Which not only that A.J. Brown came to Philly because his best friends are Hurts, I like a lot of leagues respected him. Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like I think a lot of people like Jalen Hurts' mindset. I think he gravitates players towards him, especially when they're playing together on field. You want to play for a guy like that when Jalen Hurts is your quarterback. So I totally get that. So. Bryce, I think Howie's good. We'll give him 20, about 25. Yeah, I mean, could be. Could be. Let's see. Brand says Saints signed Chase Young to a 1-year, $13 million dude is already out until regular season with a negative. I mean, he got a fully guaranteed deal. Fully guaranteed. I thought he would get $13 million, but I didn't know it would be all fully guaranteed. Fully guaranteed contract. Frank said nobody wanted to play for Philly when Norman Brahman owned the team. Nobody wanted to play the artificial turf of the old Veteran Stadium. Players getting hurt, refused to play on it. So why are people saying prove a year for Jordan Davis? Like, bro, his job, and then some crappy defense last year and played triple the amount of snaps in the offense. A lot of people say that, okay? And I think a lot of people have to prove themselves this year. And that's why it's not like one guy played bad. Jordan Davis, the only player that played bad, okay? So I think they all hit a wall. Just think about it. You know, Reddick hit a wall. Jalen Carter wasn't even playing 21 snaps by the end of the season. Like the rotation was horrible. Josh Sweat didn't have a sack. He got a sack the last season of the regular season, the last game of the regular season against the Giants. He didn't have a sack before that until week 9. Back in week 9 was the last time that Josh Sweat had a sack. I mean, with 5 to 8 yards of off ball from these corners. I mean, how is your defensive line supposed to hit home so much? You know? So, Joseph, I do agree with you on that. And when someone asks me, hey, like, is it a prove a year for Jordan Davis? Yeah, sure. But I think it's a prove a year for everybody because everybody played like shit. There wasn't one player in the secondary that played good besides maybe a little bit of Sidney Brown. You know, not much good playing by a lot of people. You know, there's not. I mean, a lot of players didn't play good. Nobody couldn't tackle. You're telling me not one person on this team could tackle? No, it was how they practiced, how they're coached. It affected everything. I mean, you're almost losing the locker room at that point, you know? So it's kind of nuts. Honestly, White was hurt when we played the Bucks week 3 last season. Remember, he caught that pick and could barely run. I think it was a hamstring. Okay. So yeah, defense hit a wall because they were playing a million snaps, couldn't get off the field on third downs. I said, imagine we get another Bulldog on Terrion Arnold. Isn't Terrion Arnold in Alabama, dude? Am I wrong? Or am I... Nah, dude. I was going to say Terrion Arnold plays for Alabama. He doesn't play for Georgia. I almost shit myself. I'm like, dude, have I been saying Terrion Arnold plays for Georgia? I'm like, no, there's no way. Which even Chris Jones that Hurts had the best performance in the Super Bowl that he's ever seen. Yeah, I mean, besides the scoop and score, he had an amazing game. The defense let up on us, and we didn't even have a run game in that game. I mean, we ran for like 40-something yards, all running backs combined. Didn't do much. Remember, like Miles Sanders left for free agency, went to Carolina, and he said, I should have been a bigger role in that Super Bowl, and you know, like, out of here with that, dude. Jose says, need Reddick to help these young guns coming in. And God forbid that BG gets hurt. And if Reddick is gone, then we're screwed on defense. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Marketing strategy says Aaron Simples was really bad. Brain Man was much better, and they don't say a whole bunch about. No, they really don't. You know, like his punts were very good, man. I think the hang times were good. His areas inside the 10 were really good. He punts some really nice ones inside the 10, like fantastically. You know, so I think Braden Man. Thank God he came back. Thank God he's a steal at this point. See. Rocky said, you must be talking about the safety Bullard. Yeah, I think Bullard from Georgia, yeah. I said, okay, I'm confused with Kamari Laster. Matt says people say this year Super Bowl or bust. Yeah, I mean, Super Bowl or bust. It's not. I think they have plenty of year. I think they definitely have an open window. This draft is going to really tell us a lot what the future is going to look like after this year too. So, Mr. Rupu says Miles Sanders hurt his hands on the first carry of the Super Bowl. Dude tried to bounce or run out and got lit up. Yeah, and that's the one thing I didn't like about Miles either, because he always tried to bounce it. He always tried to bounce to the outside, like where like you would see an open hole and be like, dude, you can get more yards that way. Sometimes he always tried looking for that big play, all the time. Just get the yards you can get them. I'm glad we found our punter and man. Yeah. I mean, you got Jake Elliott on a big extension. I mean, you're looking pretty good right now. I mean, you locked up your special teams, which was number one thing. Great. Mark Strategy said, I think our very first pick is going to be a DT. How about you? Fletcher Cox replacement? I mean, if they go after another DT, if it's Byron Murphy or, whoever else, if they go after a DT on a third year, a first round pick on a DT for its third time, yeah, it's gonna be kind of surprising for me a little bit. Trenches don't surprise me, but another DT, they could. Let's see what happens from now into the draft. What they do with the rest, I think what happens with Reddick is really going to change things. If Reddick does stay, they're not going after an edge rusher in the first round, or at least I'll say early. Kamari Lassiter is also a damn good corner, though. Joey, Georgia guy too. Shit. Mike says, relax, people. Howie knows what he's doing. Brad says, Joey, you should see how mad your face turns when people want to see who's losing merit. You mean the fucking movie that Philly wants me to see? I don't get mad over it. Just like don't care. Just don't care. Guy says we could probably get him second round. Marketing says I say that because with Fangio defense, DTs are going to be extremely important. Oh no, 100%, dude. You're going to be playing even in the 3-4. You'll play the nose, but it's a multiple scheme front. So, yeah, it's like I said. Like they draft another defensive tackle in the first round. Like Jesus, it's gonna be crazy. But Reddick's got to stay for any implication that they might go after edge. I don't think they will, but we'll find out. We'll find out, my friend. You see, when the Eagles were getting a key piece, I was hearing a lot of combine that the Eagles missed him last year. They missed his edge. They realized they probably shouldn't have gotten. They should have gotten on Turner. Oh, they probably made a mistake. I don't know if this was more on Howie or this was more on Chauncey. I think Chauncey was a part of the problem because I think he was putting too much money on himself. He was trying to get paid as a top safety. He only played safety for 1 year. So Jay Fowler says the Eagles regain a key piece. I was hearing a lot of the combine that the Eagles missed him last year. They missed his edge. They realized they probably shouldn't have gotten something done with him the year before. Yeah, probably. Probably, dude. Let's see. That's not important. Kevon Wallace has signed a 1-year deal with the Seattle Seahawks. That's done. So Jay Fowler says the contract value may be up for debate, but Hassan Reddick on-field impact is not. While I regard right now as a really good player, he's probably a top 10 pass rusher in the league. I mean, it's fucking true. Let's see. John Marcus says this is supposed to be a Super Bowl roster. I think it's a huge mistake they don't keep Hassan Reddick. I think it's going to be. I think it's a huge mistake. That's just me. So Jeff McClain says, as of now, a trade for Hassan Reddick is more likely than a return. My guess that they're just trying to work out a trade. That doesn't mean that there isn't any hope something can get done here. So nobody fucking knows. So simple as that. Okay, simple as that. Nobody fucking knows what's going on. All right, well, nobody knows shit. That's the news. Nobody knows a damn thing right now. Papa Joe Philly says, Joey, want that Chop kid. At 22, they won't have to move up much for Chop. He'll be in the 17 to 20, 21 range. He'll be like 18 to 22. I think he'll be in range for the Eagles. Appreciate the super chat, my friend. Jones says, hey, Joey, besides BS situation with Reddick, this has been the best free agency that I could ever. Oh, yeah, dude. It's been a great free agency. I mean, we were promised an aggressive free agency, and man, he's been aggressive. He picked up 3 bodies at linebacker. Saquon Barkley gets signed, which was an outside the box move that a lot of people just didn't think was going to happen, and it did. You get a really good pass rusher off of last year from Bryce Huff. You lock up Landon Dickerson. So I mean, the Eagles have made some good moves. You lock up your special teams with Rick Lovato, Jake Elliott, Braden Mann. Matt Hennessy's a pretty good offensive lineman that's going to compete for right guard with Tyler Steen right now. So I think it's been pretty productive for the Eagles, no doubt. It's all about this coaching staff and putting this whole thing together, Mike said, I hate when Joey rants before knowing exactly what is going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen after. I don't, but that's how I am, though. Andrew Browse says, if we get to draft a big safety from Miami late in the draft, that would be a steal. We could turn him into a linebacker just like they did Fred Warner. The guy that somebody talked about earlier, I think, was the same thing. I think they were talking about the same guy. Matt said, Joe, do you know anything about Sean Bradley? What are your thoughts about? I mean, Sean Bradley's a free agent. I don't think they're bringing him back because Zach Baun's a special teams dude. They brought in a couple special teams guys. That other linebacker they brought in, that Oren Burks and Sean both, and Zach Baun, both of those guys are going to be more special teams guys. I don't think Sean Bradley's coming back. It sucks because he's got really good energy. But I've always liked Sean Bradley as a special teamer. Did I miss anything in the Chop Robinson? No production, no pass rushing moves, just combine warriors overrated and redundant to Nolan. I mean, we'll see what happens, dude. That's why I have him moving down because, like I said, his it's really just about his numbers. And the combine, I don't take too much into the combine. The combine is just obviously just a pony show at this point where certain things matter and certain things at the combine, whatever the activities they do don't matter. It's just to put draft stock up and that's it. But I don't put too much into a combine so much. I'd probably put more into a fucking Senior Bowl than really a combine because you're actually playing football at that point. Testing is testing at the end of the day. We'll see, But I appreciate the super chat, man. James Williams, 6'5" safety. Holy fuck, dude. Big dude. 6'5" safety, big man. That's a big man. Bob Brown says, Joey, Fangio wanted Huff because he sees Von Miller 6'3", 250 pounds when he was in Denver. Huff is not a Von Miller. Losing Reddick will hurt, but better 1 year early with value than late 1 year late. True. No, I feel like, Bryce Huff has got a nice bend, dude. That guy can rush, man. That guy is physical. You got a guy going into his prime now. Great. 25, turned 26. Only played 43% of the snaps last year. He's coming off of 10 sacks, double-digit sack season. So, got to put that into account as well. Wiser with Super Chat. What's going on, man? It says, Joey, what's number you think Brandon Allen goes? Could be third round. Late second to third round, maybe. Probably be a mid third round pick. Probably put that there. Or so we could give up Reddick, add money and draft a dude from UCLA for edge. He is a beast. Yeah, Latu is the best edge rusher in this draft. Latu is great. Jay says, anyone else watch Devin White presser? His aura is off the charts. He's going to be a monster. Yeah, I have to watch it. I'm on Twitter right now. Well, I'm always on Twitter when I'm streaming because I always want to see if there's news coming out. What's going on? Let's see here. Jeff McClain also says, my bouncing idea around for some people around the league, and my guess is probably a day 2 pick for Hassan Reddick. What I heard at the combine is that teams are reaching out about Reddick, but the closer they get to the deadline, they'll probably accept a trade more realistic. What is more realistic? What does that mean, though? Why did they say trade deadline? You're talking about, like, the roster bonus deadline, which is like a week and a half? Or are you talking trade deadline? Because trade deadline makes no sense. Why would he say trade deadline? I think he messed up on that. I think he worded that wrong. He worded that the right way. Said Brandon Allen's a late round pick. Once the 49ers will be forced to forfeit the 5th round pick in the 25 draft. Have their 24 4th round pick moved to the end of the. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like they got in trouble for something, but I guess misuse of money or accounting. There was like a missed charges, I guess, for specific players, or I don't know. Something with the money not. I guess all the money not being accounted for certain things that they did this past year. I'm not sure. I don't know how this is all coming out like now, not like this. They never knew this during the season. Like I don't get it. But that was kind of weird. Nice podcast. Day 2 says we have the talent. It's all about the coaching. Makes it happen. Trust and brotherhood in that locker room chemistry because we have a lot of different players from different organizations. I said, why does everyone think we should draft the corner in the first round? We got Ringo and Ricks plus Rodgers. We should go chop in the first and Cooper. I'm a kid from NC State. Dude, there's not enough tape to tell us that Eli Ricks and Keely Ringo is ready right now. There is not enough to tell me that right now. With how this team was coached, yeah. I think Ringo has showed flash. I think Eli Ricks has showed major flash. I think they both showed flash, but it's not enough. It's not enough for me to say, oh yeah. I think Keely Ringo, if Slay leaves after this year, they draft a number 1 corner for the future. this draft coming up, Ringo has a chance to be a number 2. I'm not gonna say he's going to be one, but there is a chance he can be one. We just have to give him more time. They haven't played enough for me to say that the Eagles have that much trust in them and say, you know what, let's not go cornerback at all. This is due to league review and cover multiple administrative payroll accounting errors. Does have a nice bend. Nothing wrong with saying nice bend. Nice bend's not. You guys just make things sound weird. Tim Ketchari says, I'm related to Sean Bradley, and he told me that the Eagles are going to sign him in early May because he's not cleared yet from his injury. Hey, somebody related to Sean Bradley. How about that? Hey, that'd be great. Bob said Howie wants a third for Reddick and make up for the Pickett deal. That's what I feel like he's going to do, but it ain't worth it with this trade. It's going to be a big downgrade. Downgrade for losing a player that's your best player on defense on the line, especially right now. Okay, and now you're gonna get less compensation for him. Jay says, wild idea. I think signing Batari as a guard would be genius. He's a pass set specialist, but with a perfect guard size. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to go in that direction, but how much money is he going to want? That's a whole nother thing. These vets get paid, dude. I know he's coming off an injury, I think, too. Honestly, I've heard the news that exactly what I thought, Joey. If Reddick goes, the only way I try to regroup would be to trade for a top cornerback and draft edge in the first. I'd rather extend Reddick and draft cornerback. That's what I said in my video this morning. That's the only other thing I can think of that makes sense if they get rid of Reddick. If they get rid of Reddick, they get that 3rd round pick back. They use some of these picks to go trade for a corner and then go edge the first round and move up like aggressively to get the best edge guy in the first round. That's really where I've been going with the situation. I say Ringo and Ricks both get to sit another year to learn. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen this year. But if they're ready, and God forbid injuries happen, they'll be prepared. You know what I mean? Like, at least Ringo and Ricks have had some experience in games already, so it's not like they've never played any NFL snaps. So they got some things. Joey, why would we get Nick Scott? The man has 1 year of highlights. I mean, at this point, it could be just because really there's nothing left free agency wise. They're just looking through the market right now. Only had 35 tackles last year. So they're looking for more scheme fit guys. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you could take a guy that's not the best player, but if he fits more as a role player for a defense, and if used correctly, he could be a good player. Nick Scott could be a good player here for whether it's a year or 2 years. I don't know. Maybe a 1 year deal, it looks like right now. He's 28 years old. So Joey the Ace, some of the related Sean Bradley enthusiastic shit got me. They said, wonder if Denver wants Pickett with Reddick. Be nice to get Surtain back, but wishful thinking. I know. Trust me. Everybody, trust me. Everybody's been talking about. Every single person's been talking about. Surtain coming to Philadelphia. I've heard it a million times. I'll probably hear it another million times. So it really wouldn't shock me too much. Wouldn't shock me too much at all. Zach said, if the Eagles get let rid of go, it's going to hurt. It's going to suck because I feel like that you dropped the ball. Anybody that you replace him with is not going to have the same, I look, like, the double-digit sack thing, like, I know it's really, it seems like maybe it's so overrated, but it's not, because it's very hard to let go of a guy that's playing at a high level like that, that's getting numbers like that every single year. You don't let a guy like that go. Now, this isn't on the Eagles. This is on Reddick. I mean, the Eagles would have just let him play this year. But it seems like Reddick wants his number and the Eagles aren't giving it. And it seems like they're past negotiations right now. But there could be a chance where Reddick's going to say, you know what? I don't know if I should even go to this team and this new team, and he might have to play for another he might have to play another year and maybe redeem himself again. I'm not sure. Big Star Joe, do you think we get another tight end this year? Yeah, I think we can. I mean, I think they should draft another one in the late rounds, nothing early. I'm pretty high on Albert O. If he's actually used, they want to produce his ass. Yeah, we don't have a number 2 right now. So Jack Stahl signed with the Giants. Calcaterra's an injury-prone mess right now. Chris says, with Reddick, our D-line is scary good. Without him, we're average. Vanessa Ward says, I would sign you over Nick Scott. That man couldn't cover a pillow. Look, I mean, you're picking up a free agent on the 9th day of free agency, so you're slim pickings on guys that are good players, but maybe are more scheme fits. But we'll see. Chris says, we don't need to trade for a cornerback. We could trade. Yeah, we could draft a cornerback first round, but if you lose Reddick, then what happens at edge now? Now you have a big hole. You got a big hole at edge. You lose Reddick. You can't not think about not drafting the best edge rusher in this draft. There's no way you can't think about that. You lose Reddick, you're just going to ignore it and say, whatever. There's no free agents left. You're not trading for a defensive end. You're not going to pay another guy big money. The only way to go is to go into the draft and draft the top guy. That's what's going on. Oh, 80. Chris, I think Ringo is close to being ready. I would absolutely draft Kool-Aid or Cooper DeJean at 22. Yeah, they could. I think everyone's looking at the Reddick situation wrong. Look at what we're going to have to pay Devonte. Everybody cannot stay at, and he's 30 years. Reddick is great, but yeah, holding on the players is not good either. Well, dude, he's playing. If you're competing for a Super Bowl right now, like, why wouldn't you want to keep Hassan Reddick, dude? I mean, you're trying to compete for a Super Bowl because you take away Hassan Reddick from that line. Who plays that? Who else is going to play that side? It's going to be Sweat and Bryce Huff? No. Sweat's not on that level. Brandon Graham is especially not on that level. He's a rotational guy coming back for one more year and going to retire. That's it. You got nothing else. There's nothing else, dude. Robert and Joe, you got to stop with they can't sit, watch and learn stuff. These kids can't sit for this long. Nick's staff didn't get the kids in the game to learn. Hopefully the new staff does. Well, they got to change the offseason program. They need to change how these guys practice. They needs to, I mean, everything's got to change this offseason. I don't want to sit all the young guys, but the thing is, it's like, if you don't draft a corner, if you lose Reddick and you don't draft a corner this year, and you're going to go with Eli Ricks on the outside or Keely Ringo and it just doesn't work out, I don't know. I don't think there's enough time, to be honest. I don't think there's enough time. S&E Rat says, Huff, Graham, Sweat, Smith, there isn't a hole at edge. We have been used to having an abundance. Yeah, and they need an abundance. They need a rotation. That's the whole point of it. They don't have enough on another side. It's not enough. To me, it's not enough. I feel like you're losing a big player on defense. You got worse. You got a lot worse on the line, no doubt. So for the people saying he's overrated, he's not. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. Because if Reddick barely even had 3 sacks a season, everybody wouldn't even care about him getting traded at this point. So, but there's got to be like easy ones. I think Eagles have a plan. I trust that. Yeah, I mean, there might, even if there's a plan with Reddick or there's a plan after Reddick, there's a plan B for everything. Jay says they wouldn't be signing all these guys if they plan on trading Reddick. It would be stupid. I mean, the original plan for the Eagles wasn't to trade Reddick. The Eagles were going to the offseason because Reddick is still on contract with the Eagles right now. It's not the Eagles that messed this thing up, or this is on Hassan Reddick trying to get more money, which he definitely deserves. But if he's wanting over 25 a year, then he ain't getting it. Chris says our D line would be above average without Reddick, but not as close to good with him. No, I think we're good without him, but I think we're bad. I think we're pretty bad without him. So, I mean, I think our D line is not the worst it's ever been without Reddick if they get rid of him, but it's going to be a big loss. You're gonna see why. Bob said Ringo will not make it to cornerback. He's stiff in his straight line, does not translate. He can't turn and run. He needs to move to safety. As you said, if he's available, I think we need to go Byron Murphy. Just have constant pressure up the middle against Mahomes. Not a bad idea. I'd be shocked. Like I said, I'd be shocked if they go after another DT. But. Versus Bob Brown. Saw Ringo play very well last year. His hips were better this year. He was in college. Jay says, what's the conditioning difference between the high school and college level? I played both sides of the line. High school playing left tackle in college. Conditioning difference? It's obviously high demand in college. I mean, I don't know. It really depends high school wise where you play. Like you play East Coast college football, it's not the same when you're playing in the South. It's not the same as you're playing in Texas, where football is huge in Texas, other places as well, especially down south too. So it's very different, especially what division you're in, and it just depends. Just depends. So we got 242 in the chat as of right now. We're gonna go for another couple minutes. We're gonna probably end this a little earlier today. I mean, we've already been on for what, 2 hours? What, an hour 38? Is that right? An hour 38? That's what we've been on? I think that's wrong. So we'll go for another couple minutes. I have some other stuff I got to do today. I want to do a little stream and talk about the whole Reddick situation, which direction we're going to go. I'm going to watch the Devin White press conference and watch some other things. But we'll go for another couple minutes, and then we'll probably head out for the day. I'll have a video up tomorrow. I'll have a membership video up tomorrow. We'll be all ready. We'll be all set. We'll be ready to go. We'll get some stuff going. So, I said Nolan Smith taking over for Reddick will be fine. Stop panicking, y'all. I think Nolan Smith's going to have a good year. Nolan Smith did have had that shoulder surgery, like minor shoulder surgery this offseason. From the rumors we're hearing about Nolan Smith, that Fangio is going to give Smith a heavy workload in this defense, which is great. So I'm glad that Fangio already knows, like, we got to start using this guy like right now, because it was just a wasted year for Nolan Smith. Really wasn't his fault. He got injured a couple times, but Sean Desai just never put him in the lineup. Barely. This I would have signed Ashley Davis, the Nick Scott, and younger. Texas high school football is huge. Oh yeah, I know. I have friends that went. I have friends that went to Texas A&M Kingsville. It's a D2 school. That's a school I almost went to. I almost went to Texas A&M Kingsville coming out of high school, but I had to stay. Unfortunately, I had to stay like where I was in my area. So we'll see. We'll see. So the poll as of right now. We'll look at the poll real quick. So we have, should the Eagles move on from Reddick? Let's see, we got 309 votes. 78% say no. 22% say yes. Doesn't shock me. Doesn't shock me at all. You know, that everybody loves Hassan Reddick, no doubt. But yeah, guys. But we'll be back tomorrow for another stream, the 10th day of free agency live reaction. And we'll have a video out tomorrow. We'll have a membership video out tomorrow. Make sure you check out the memberships as well. You know, for extra content, it's out there, and support too, which you know, a lot of people have been grabbing memberships. Do appreciate it. And you know, we'll have the shakedown this week. We'll have we got a big week ahead of us this week. You know, the next bit of news we're waiting for is safety move. You know, whether it's Justin Simmons, Nick Scott, whatever the case may be with that. And we're gonna be looking at you know, we're gonna be looking forward to you know, the Hassan Reddick situation. April 1st is the deadline where they're moving his roster bonus. So we're looking for a trade. We're looking for something. So we're going to hear something. The next week and a half, we're going to hear something, you know, in a rumor of where this is heading right now and what compensation they could be getting. Maybe they trade for a player. You know, maybe if a team is not going to give up, okay, another thing they could do is if a team is not going to give up a high pick, give us a 3rd round pick and give us a starting player. I don't know. Or somebody, a nice depth piece. I don't know. Something, you know. Seems like the Falcons are the only listed team I see here. So, I mean, around the league, I think everybody respects Hassan Reddick. They think he's a great player, but I don't think they're willing to give up the price the Eagles want. I'm glad the Eagles should try to rip off whoever they possibly can rip off. I think it's smart for them to do that. This way, teams know that they're serious about trading him for high compensation, and there might be a team that breaks. Who knows? But I don't think they're getting a 1st round pick. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. But you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys on the next one tomorrow stream. You guys enjoy it. Shakes, what up, follow side. Peace out, guys. Enjoy yourselves. Peace out.